When a local community wants a new footpath, improvements to their local park, a road upgrade or improvements to local sporting facilities, they most likely turn to their local council. But last year, when the COVID-19 pandemic struck and jobs were at risk, it was clear that the federal government needed to play our part to keep people in those jobs. One of the ways we did this was through the Local Roads and Community Infrastructure Program announced last May. This program supports local councils to deliver priority local projects across Australia, including my electorate of Longman. Not only does this fantastic program support jobs and help local economies weather the pandemic, it ensures that towns like Caboolture, Dacabin, Burpengary and Beachmere get local improvements that make them better places in which to live. The great thing about this program is that there's no politics involved. It's just two levels of government, the council and the federal government, working together to get stuff done in the community. Due to its success and the clear benefits it has for local communities, the program has since been expanded, not once, but twice, bringing the total investment across Australia to $2.5 billion. That $2.5 billion investment is the federal government saying, yes, we understand the importance of grassroots improvements like new footpaths or roads and park upgrades to local people. New playground equipment at the local park might not sound as impressive as a $1 billion highway upgrade or a new inland rail service, but for the parents who bring their kids to the park on the weekend to spend some time with family outdoors, it's just as important. In the first phase of the program, Moreton Bay Regional Council received $1.66 million to help fund 4 projects in Longman. A further 12 projects were funded in phase 2 of the program with a federal government investment of around $5.3 million. Longman will also receive a share of $10 million allocated to Moreton Bay Council in phase 3 of the program. 2 of the 4 projects announced in phase 1 have already been completed, including a 3.5 kilometre concrete footpath along Bigmor Drive at Limber between Pumicestone and Mansfield roads. Mums and dads with prams and people with mobility issues will now find it easy to get to shops and parks thanks to this new footpath. It also provides safe pedestrian access to the massive new commercial development next to the iconic Big Fish Tavern, anchored by a new Bunnings warehouse, which, by the way, will employ hundreds of locals. Central Lakes Park in Caboolture near Summerfield Drive received a big overhaul with new playground equipment, barbecue facilities and landscaping. This was a project that locals had been asking for around 5 years, and I was delighted to help the council get this one over the line. Not long after the work on this upgrade was completed, I attended a neighbourhood watch event at the park, and it was great to see so many locals out there enjoying the new facilities. And ultimately, that's what this investment is all about, making things better for locals and supporting local jobs during construction. The 2 other projects from the first phase are well underway and should be completed within weeks. These include a new fauna crossing at Wurrum to help keep our local wildlife safer near the roads, and new LED sport field lighting at Bob Brock Park in Dacabin. These new lights will enable local sporting clubs, including my old soccer club, the mighty North Pine Gorillas, to train across all the fields at the park after dark. It will particularly make a big difference to the junior football teams who now have a lot more room to train rather than being crammed into a small space. And while these phase 1 projects are nearing completion, this week we're announcing the list of projects to receive funding under phase 2. The $1 billion phase 2 extension of the Local Roads and Communities Infrastructure Program was announced as part of the 2021 budget. We will provide Moreton Bay Council with around $5.3 million for 12 fantastic projects in Longman that will again support local jobs and improve local communities. Perhaps the biggest project on the list is an overhaul of the Peterson Road Sporting Complex at Moreton. We are contributing $1.5 million towards this $4 million project, which will help it get done much sooner than would otherwise be possible. This is a project I've been fighting for to get funding for since last August, and I'm really pleased to see it get some love under this program. It will involve demolishing the old clubhouse and constructing a new clubhouse that will be shared among the more than 1,650 members of Caboolture Rugby Union Club and Caboolture Touch Association. The new building will also have offices, a kitchen and tiered seating for spectators. This project has been in planning for some time, and I'm delighted that the federal government has been able to pitch in for this project through the Local Roads and Community Infrastructure Program. Other phase 2 projects include 3 new footpaths, one on Bribie Island Road at Ningie, another at Elkhorn Avenue at Ballara, and a footpath on the Diagonal Highway between Scotts Lane and Mountmere Road. The latter project in particular is much needed in that area and will ensure pedestrians, including school children, can get to where they're going much safer. All three projects will improve pedestrian access for parents with prams or people with mobility issues. Funding will also go towards the installation of a new playground at the Aird Street Park, Sandstone Point, making this great little local park more enjoyable for local families. Carramar Park and Dackerman will get $200,000 towards a new playground, barbecue facilities, pathways and landscaping. Nearby on Alma Road, we are helping fund a new pedestrian refuge near the Woolworths development so locals can safely cross Alma Road, which can get really busy during peak times. We're also helping fund netball courts at Burpengary Sports Complex and a basketball court at Cash Street in Diagula. The skate park at Sheep Station Creek in Moreton will also be upgraded from a district facility to a major skate facility. The federal government is chipping in $1 million for this project, and I won't be getting involved on the skateboard for fear of breaking my neck. Once completed, it will be a great place for local kids to encourage them to get outdoors with their scooters and skateboards and keep active. Finally, we are funding 50% of a streetscape upgrade for Biggs Avenue and Beachmere and $400,000 towards improved pedestrian and cyclist access along Station Road in Burpengary. These projects will be a big benefit for local residents in Longman who live near or use these facilities and infrastructure. And Deputy Speaker, I was also pleased to learn that as part of the recently announced 2021-22 budget, that Longman will share in another $10 million under the next phase of this program, to be delivered to Moreton Bay Council at the start of next year. The Local Roads and Community Infrastructure Program is already delivering for locals in their communities and will continue delivering for some time yet. So far it has delivered funding for 16 important local projects in my electorate, 2 of which are already completed and 2 will be delivered shortly. Work on a further 12 projects from phase 2 of the program will get underway between now and the end of the year, when funding for phase 3 of the program will become available for the council. This program and others like those in the federal government's Stronger Communities program or the Powering Communities program support real grassroots local projects. They deliver the improvements that our communities ask for, and that's what my job is all about, getting local projects delivered for the people of Longman.
Authorised by Terry Young, LNP, Caboolture.